Okay, so this is going to be part one of the instructional videos to take care of the reef tank while I am out of town. First, I'm going to go through and just explain what everything that's attached to this is and what it does, just to give you a brief understanding. So, as far as filtration is concerned, this here has mechanical, chemical, and biological filtration. So that's taking care of a lot of the fish waste, that's taking care of the ammonia, and algae particles and junk like that. So that's just like a freshwater filter, but with a little bit different media. This one here, although it is physically the same filter, this actually has macroalgae in it. I'll show you that there. And it has a grow light. So that is chaetomorpha and a little bit of dragon's breath. And what that's going to do when the grow light is on is basically spark photosynthesis to occur in here, and that helps to strip out phosphate and nitrate, particularly phosphate, which this filter doesn't remove. Now there is a little bit of media in here that helps to remove phosphate, but this is doing a lot of that work too. So if the phosphate spikes because of overfeeding, particularly when the corals are fed, I have found, then a lot of the stony corals really start to die back and suffer. I found that that's the parameter, for me at least, that seems to affect them the most. I've had a hard time keeping any of the stony corals alive, but all the soft and the LPS have done pretty good, so phosphate must not affect them too adversely. So now that that's mostly under control, as you can see, there's a little bit of algae kind of drifting, like right there, but nothing like it used to be ever since I put that refugium in. I think we have it dialed in. Next thing in line is this, which we're going to go over. This is a glug jug, which is an auto top-off system. So as salt water evaporates, the salt stays behind and the water becomes saltier. So you have to top it off to account for evaporation with fresh RODI water. Currently this bottle is empty. I'm going to film how to refill that in the second video. This is the protein skimmer, which at the moment is dialed in, so it's not overflowing and crazy, but you can see all this awful stuff that it's pulled out of the water. That's all stuff that would be clear and dissolved that you would not be able to see. So the fact that that can strip out those otherwise invisible components just shows you how dirty the water is when you don't realize it. I'm going to try to have that dialed in so it can be up and running, but I'll show you emergency procedures to deal with it if there's a problem. There shouldn't be. If you look inside, that is the return from the protein skimmer. That's the heater. The heater is hooked up to an Inkbird temperature controller, and that little suction cup that came off the wall is holding... Hi, get out of the way there. That is holding the temperature probe to the thermal controller. So basically the heater has its own thermostat, but it also has a backup so that it doesn't run wild and cook everything in the tank. Over here you've got the Nero 3. This is a circulation pump that will be running on a cycle. Shouldn't need to worry about that at all. It's actually right here is the controller for it. If ever that ring is red, you can unplug this module right here and plug it back in, and it will restart the pump. It might take a couple of tries if something gets jammed in there, a little chunk of algae or snail shell or something. Algae scraper, if you're going to use the algae scraper, because you can see there's like cloudiness over here, like that. If you're going to use it, just make sure you don't get any sand stuck in it, or it's going to scratch the glass all to hell. So that concludes the introduction video, and then we'll go over some procedures in the next one.